Yeah, yesterday, man, it's a sad day. It's interesting because it's sad, um, yet it was really cool at the same time to hear all the stories and see the outpouring from like I watched today, Stephen Colbert, which I don't really watch him, but I don't know if you've seen what he did last night on his show, and him and Toby are really close. And they're about as polar opposite of people as you'd ever meet, with their political views and probably a lot of other views. But Colbert did a great job just talking about uh, Toby. You know, I got on air yesterday. I cracked the mic at 5 a.m. for Sirius XM, and I put my headset on and jumped on about 4:50. And my producer said, he said, "Man, I'm really sorry about the news." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he told me he's like, "Toby Keith passed away," and I was just like, I mean, I was just floored. Um, I've known Toby for 21, 22 years. I got to know him really well toward the end of my career at Oklahoma. He was there all the time. We talked in games, after games, and then my first year, when I was going through the draft process, they asked me to play in the um, in the Toby Keith, Foundation golf tournaments for Allie's House for pediatric cancer. One of his old band members had a daughter that passed away from cancer, and they started Allie's House, and I started getting involved. Then I started going to these events, and really started getting to know him and Trish, his wife, and his family, and Kevin would come back when I was in Chicago and never missed. Always came back, always played, and was always around. And then especially once we moved back, and I've been here more, and um, got a lake house. We spend a lot of time at the lake. We've got a place real close to him, and so I've gotten a chance to spend a lot of time with him. And uh, he's uh, he's a special man. Uh, with things that he's done for pediatric cancer in the state of Oklahoma, with Allie's House, with the OK Kids Corral. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And what you said is right. He's a Sooner diehard through and through, whether it's football, basketball, softball, diehard. And his what's crazy is I've had so many conversations with him. His ability to recall like plays and players and moments all the way back to when he was a kid is absolutely incredible. And but I think he's just a phenomenal ambassador for the state. And so not only did the state lost an icon and a legend yesterday, but I think his impact will be will live on forever. And I think that if you were paying attention yesterday, how could you not? You really felt that. It's funny because growing up, when the Cowboys were in their dynasty, that's when I should have been a Cowboy was kind of a hit, 93, like right in that era. That was like my favorite song. And
No doubt.
to get a chance to meet that guy and then get a chance to be good friends with that guy, to golf and fish and sit on the back porch and watch him with a guitar in his hand and strum the guitar and maybe have a little moonshine and listen to him tell stories. And it's just, man, I'm lucky to have had the chance to get to know him. And I think about his wife. I know his daughters. I know his son Steelen very well. I think about them, and I just think about so many people who he had such a positive impact on. His love for the military and the troops, and everything that he did for a lot of those people is just it's incredible, man. He's a special man, and he left a mark on me, so many Oklahomans, and so many people all over the planet. And so he'll be missed, man. He will be missed. But gosh, it's hard not to think back and smile and think about uh, just how just how great of a dude he was, and how many great things he did, and how many people he impacted. Because you want to talk about leaving your mark on this place. Uh, he sure did for a lot of people. I think he lived his life to the fullest. He overcame a lot of obstacles. I mean, the guy was working in the oil fields, and like to get a chance to listen to him tell his stories about where he came from, and the great songwriter that he was that people don't even recognize. That you think of him just as a musician. He's a Hall of Fame songwriter. to starting his own label and just all the things that he's done, man. So accomplished, a true entrepreneur, a true American patriot, and just as good as Oklahoma's ever seen, man. And I'm going to miss my friend, as are so many people. And I think we should all continue to think about and pray for his wife Trish, his daughters, his son, and his grandkids, because they appreciate this outpouring and these stories, but they're hurting right now at the same time.
Absolutely. Very well said. And yeah, I think that just seeing the outpouring of comments and stories and people being able to recall meeting him and having interactions with him, you just don't get that with a lot of celebrities, right? And that's the part of him that is Oklahoman and being around here and being as friendly and personable as he could be, that you just have a ton of people from locally that have a Toby Keith story. That's pretty incredible.
And I know we're pressed for time. I said this on my show yesterday, but um, he had cancer this last Memorial Day. Um, I saw him at the grocery store at the lake, and I hadn't seen him in a little while. And he's obviously had lost a lot of weight, but he was on the other side of it. And we bumped into each other at the grocery store, and he came over and gave him a big old hug. And he's like, "Let's go fishing." I was like, "All right, let's go fishing." So we went. I met up with him Memorial Day morning, and we went fishing. And it was me, him, his guide and best friend out there at the lake, John, Big John, and another one of his family members. Just us four crappie fishing on Memorial Day morning, and we're in a stall that some guys had put some trees down, so it's great for crappie fishing down below where these slips were. And we've been fishing for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. No, that was biting. And I'm like, TK, man, like, what's up? I thought, oh, where are the fish at? He's like, oh, they're coming. And we got the local Grove, Oklahoma country music station playing on the boat, and the boat's sitting there in the stall. And you think I'm lying? You can only make this stuff up. And sure enough, Memorial Day morning, they start playing one of his songs, brought to you courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. And Toby says, "Oh, looky there, Captain America's on the radio." Within a minute, bam, fish on Toby's line. He pulls the first crappie of the day out. And I got a good picture of it. I said, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "You catch the first fish, and what brought the fish is your song on the radio and you singing to it." And he's like, "Captain America gets it done again." He was laughing. He even thought that was pretty cool. So when you're thinking about the 4th of July, when you're thinking about Memorial Day, it's going to be hard for me, and I think a lot of Oklahomans, not to think about Toby Keith.
Absolutely. And so many great songs that just make you feel good, right? So,
Right.
in that regard, he'll live on forever.